What is up, and welcome to SGPN's The Daily Dog. I'm your host, Britton Hess. I'm here with my favorite Underdog Fantasy Pick'em Plays for Tuesday, December 24th, 2024, Christmas Eve, special day of plays on Underdog. If you're new to Underdog Fantasy, sign up with the promo code DailyDog. It's DAILYDOG at UnderdogFantasy.com or on the Underdog Fantasy app. Up to $1,000 deposit match bonus, 50% of whatever you put on there. That's about as good as it's going to get, folks. That actually is as good as it's going to get. A lot of other bigger shows, big apps, big promo companies, whatever, have Underdog as an affiliate, and they do not have a promo code worth as much as mine. So if you have not signed up for Underdog yet, do yourself a favor while you're off traveling to mom and dad's house in a different state where Underdog is legal. Sign up with promo code DailyDog. It's a nice little stocking stuffer for yourself, getting 50% extra on your money when you deposit to the app. All right, lots of stuff to get to. We're going to get to NFL games for Christmas Day, NBA for Christmas Day, and then after that, we're going to go to tonight's game, the Hawaii Bowl between San Jose State and the University of South Florida. But let's start out with the NFL. We're going to go with George Pickens, higher than 62.5 receiving yards. DeAndre Hopkins, higher than 3.5 receptions in that game between the Steelers and the Chiefs in Pittsburgh. Pickens is going to be like an animal being uncaged on Wednesday. For this game, he's going to be hungry and ready to make some plays. The Steelers offense goes through him. At least it opens up through him. Not saying the Steelers are going to win, not saying anything crazy like that. I do think, though, George Pickens is in a good spot to have a very good day. DeAndre Hopkins, higher than 3.5 receptions. Pretty simple. DeAndre Hopkins is getting involved in the offense early. And even with Hollywood Brown back, Hopkins has a legit role on this team. You know, I think he got 2 catches in like the first drive for the Chiefs last week. He's got a great thing going with Mahomes. Mahomes trusts him. He is like not as good physically as he was 10 years ago, but he is still one of the best receivers in the game, I think, as far as catching goes. So having those hands, that route running, maybe without the explosiveness that he once had, is still something that is highly valued by Patrick Mahomes. So go DeAndre Hopkins, higher than 3.5 receptions. Next, we're going to go to Christmas NFL number 2. We're going to go Hollywood Brown, higher than 38.5 receiving yards. I don't know if you noticed, but Hollywood Brown did not look limited in his return last week. So yeah, they're gonna fire, and the Steelers secondary is a little banged up, and they can be had for big plays. On the other side, though, Steelers, Calvin Austin III, longest reception, higher than 15.5 receptions. Right now, his projection is 2.5 receptions. In every game this season where he's had he's had 2 or more receptions, his longest reception has been much higher than 15.5 receiving yards. So higher than 15.5 receiving yards is right on course for Calvin Austin, just the type of player that he is and the type of plays he makes for the Steelers. This is a 3x multiplier. All right, Christmas Eve, number 2. John Metchie, higher than 0.5 rushing plus receiving TDs for the Houston Texans here. John Metchie is going to have a bigger role now that Tank Dell is out, unfortunately. John Metchie is, I think, a really good player to play alongside Nico Collins. He's going to be able to score in the red zone and do good things for this team. Next, we're out Derrick Henry, higher than 69.5 rush yards. We're going to go all low here because we want to really capitalize on John Metchie's ability. This is an 8.19x multiplier. Christmas NFL number 4, Nico Collins, higher than 92.5 receiving yards. Obviously, the Ravens secondary and their defense in general has a better reputation than they deserve at this point. Nico Collins is getting his in every game, so I don't think it's going to change on Christmas Day. Then we're going to go with Zay Flowers, higher than 57.5 receiving yards. Again, another guy who's just making a ton of big plays for his team on this kind of highlight spot in the dome. I think that Zay Flowers is going to flourish. Higher than 57.5 receiving yards is going to look pretty comical at the end of this one, if you ask me. That's a straight-up 3x multiplier. Next, we're going to go to the NBA on Christmas Day. We're going to go Victor Wembanyama, higher than 38.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Big spot for the big man playing against the Knicks here. 38.5 points, rebounds, and assists is a fairly high number, highly respectable number. But if he's pushing, 20, 25, 15, 25, 12, he's right there. Just needs a couple of assists to get across the line. Then Jamal Murray, higher than 19.5 points. Jamal Murray was not active in their last game for the Nuggets as they go to the Sun. He was not active in their last game, but when they played the Suns on Christmas Day, I think Jamal Murray is going to be primed to score big time. 19.5 points is in his wheelhouse, and Jokic loves feeding him the ball. Christmas NBA number 2, we're going to go Kelley Oubre, higher than 1.5 3-pointers made for the Sixers. Obviously, that is not, that's not ideal. Or, what do I mean? Obviously, that's not ideal. No, obviously his shooting in the last couple of games hasn't been ideal, but his opportunities to get 3-pointers has been there. He shoots plenty of volume for us to get over 1.5 or higher than 1.5 3-pointers here on this entry. Then we go Anthony Edwards higher than 35.5 points, rebounds and assists against Luka Doncic and the Mavs, little rivalry brewing, two young stars, et cetera, et cetera. Anthony Edwards, not the greatest game on Monday, Christmas Day. I think he is going to get back. All right. That was a 3.21x multiplier. All right. So I've already given out 4 NFL slips already, or 4 NFL entries already, 2 NBA entries already. Now we're going on to the Hawaii Bowl. Walker Eget, quarterback for San Jose State, higher than 312.5 passing yards. South Florida has the second worst pass D in the nation. They play in the AAC. It's not exactly the Big 12 of old. They have the second worst pass D in the in college football. The third or fourth, basically top 5, top 10, no matter how you measure it, passing offense in college football is San Jose State. They are going to have a great time passing. Walker Eget is going to get the ball out quickly. And doesn't hurt that they're going to play in Hawaii. Kenyama Tololo, the head coach of San Jose State, is a Hawaiian. He played quarterback for the University of Hawaii in the 80s. Nice little homecoming for him. I think they're going to run their offense, and man, they could not have a better situation when it comes to their opposition. Also, South Florida's starting safety is out of this game. Also, one of their starting defensive tackles out of this game. So that does not hurt at all for Walker Eget. Coming back the other way, we're going to take Kelley Joyner, higher than 0.5 rushing plus receiving touchdowns. 11 touchdowns on the season for Joyner of USF. He's their lead back. And they're having some QB issues. I don't want to say they're having QB problems, but there's some QB turnover happening. So keep an eye on Kelley Joyner here to score a touchdown. I think that the defense for San Jose State is actually a little bit better than South Florida's, but they do have some portal issues happening. So who knows? Maybe, Kelley Joyner might have multiple touchdowns in this game. But if you Walker Eget higher than 312.5 passing yards and Kelley Joyner higher than 0.5 rushing plus receiving touchdowns, that's a 3.48x multiplier. Next, we're going to go with Justin Lockhart, higher than 93.5 receiving yards, and Byron Brown, lower than 1.5 passing touchdowns. Nick Nash, best wide receiver in the country statistically of San Jose State, is not playing in this game. He's opting out, preparing for the NFL draft. Good for him, I guess. I mean, it would be great if he played in this game. He would probably set a record at the Hawaii Bowl. That's probably hard to do, but he would probably have a good showing at the Hawaii Bowl if he played in this game. But given the year he'd had, I guess he put enough on tape and wants to worry about making that cash. So good on him. That said, Justin Lockhart, the other wide receiver on this team, has like 973 yards on the year. He's going to go over 1,000 after this game. 7 touchdowns as well. So higher than 93.5 receiving yards while he's playing that 1A role versus the second worst passing defense in the country. Yeah, sign me up. Give me Justin Lockhart, higher than 93.5 receiving yards. And then Byron Brown, the quarterback for South Florida, lower than 1.5 passing touchdowns. The guy's been injured since week 5. This is going to be his first game action since week 5 of this year. Obviously, he's an experienced player, but I think there could be some rust. I think there could be some limited opportunities. Maybe he's in a couple packages. Maybe they're just keeping him active out there. I don't really know. I just think that, it's a little bit optimistic to think that he's going to go out to the islands after, hibernating for the last several months and tear up this San Jose State secondary. They're not that good, and they've got 2 corners out and that have opted out and headed to the transfer portal. I'm just not that optimistic. So give me Byron Brown lower than 1.5 passing touchdowns after this layoff, and let's hope that he's not even in every package, because I think that there's a real possibility where they rotate quarterbacks after the injury. That is a 3x multiplier. All right. Thank you for listening all of 2024. Well, I don't know why I'm saying that yet. It's not New Year's yet, but thanks for listening. And if you're new to the show, as always, sign up for Underdog with promo code DailyDog. Tell your friends, tell your grandparents. I know you're home for the holidays. And rate, review, subscribe, all that other good stuff wherever you get this podcast. All right. Enjoy. Have a good one. Oh, wait. What's that thing I said at the end of the show? Oh, yeah. Let's make some money, especially on this Hawaii Bowl. Actually, before I go, I bet on the Hawaii Bowl, and I'm probably not supposed to talk about betting on this show all that often because we are an Underdog Pick'em show. But Merry Christmas to me. I'm going to tell you that I like San Jose State laying 3 here. Famous last words, I know, but San Jose State -3. There's a lot of situational stuff I like for them in this spot. So let's get it done, Spartans. All right, as I was saying, let's make some money, and Merry Christmas to all who celebrate.